All right, good morning, everyone. Stay standing for a second. Good morning, everyone. Stay standing, stay standing. Listen, how many people love motivational speakers? Raise your hand. You can't wait. Like, oh, to pump me up, shit. Okay, and some of you didn't raise your hand because you're like, oh, this shit's going to be boring and we're going to have to sit here for another 60 minutes, right? Be honest with me. Raise your hand if you've had a bad experience with a motivational speaker in the past. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. Here's the thing. Today, I want you guys to just bring a lot of energy, okay? I like small settings like this. I was actually telling Chris last night that I've spoken in groups of 40 people to 4,000 people. A couple of the names you heard on there were some pretty extraordinary people that I shared the stage with. But I love small groups like this because we're able to engage. So I'm going to ask you guys to do that today. And before we get started, I'm going to keep you guys standing just for a second. I want to give all the executive staff, Chris, and everybody that's here, and anybody who helped make this event happen, I want you to give them a huge round of applause right now, please. And then lastly, before you sit down, a lot of event speakers forget to do this, and I hate this, is that, there are people that put this event on, and it's not just because you paid for it, but because it's their job. Like the young lady who came out and moved this table, the wait staff, the people that are out here trying to earn a living and change their lives. And I don't think enough speakers or people actually give them the credit that they deserve, so let's give everybody here at the Royal Hotel a round of applause. You guys can be seated. Go ahead, take a seat, take a seat. All right, before we get started, guys, we're going to go over a couple things. I want to make a deal with you guys. This is how I start every single event, okay? Yes, I know some of you like motivational speakers. Some of you hate them. It is what it is. Hopefully I can change that today. But the deal is this. You got to have a pen and paper, brutal honesty, no fake smiles, no bullshit answers, and regardless of your title, no pretending you know everything. Here's the biggest mistake people make when they come to these events. They don't take notes. This is a statistical fact. Harvard Business did a study on this, that if you leave this event today and you don't take notes and you're not paying attention, that in 24 hours, you'll remember 30% of everything we went over today. 24 hours later, you'll remember 10% of that 30%. And then 48 hours after that, you'll remember 5%, and 50% of that will be wrong. So what does that tell you? Take notes. You gotta take notes. Write it down. If you're like me, I don't have a college degree. I didn't go to business school. I am very blessed to have the life that I have, but I earned it because I paid attention. And now that I do this for a living, run my company, not motivational speaking, by the way. I do this because I love it. Don't get me wrong, money is great, but you gotta find something that you're passionate about. And ProCom gives you that opportunity. I had dinner with you guys last night with the C-suite team, and I can tell you the conversations were just unbelievable. How they spoke about you guys, they talked about the role playing, how it's very hard to do that. How many people are remote here? Raise your hand if you're remote, if you work remote. And how many people, put your hands down, are not remote? Raise your hand. Okay, just a few, right, in office. It's very difficult to motivate yourself when you work remote. Why is that? You get up one day at 8 a.m., you might not start work till 10. Maybe you have some monitoring system that I don't know of, and they can see if you hop online or generate leads or if you're working or not. But what actually motivates you to get out and do what you guys want to do? Money. And we're going to talk about that today. Because the truth is, money isn't enough though. But it's a big portion of what we do, okay? So let's get into this. I want you to write these two things down. Write ownership equals freedom, please, okay? And I promise all of this stuff is going to help you guys and put you in a path to make a crap ton of money and change your lives if you just let it. And I'll tell you a couple stories of how. So ownership equals freedom and your definition of accountability. So what is your definition of accountability? What does it mean to you? I don't want you to look up the Webster Dictionary. I want you to write down what it actually means to you to hold yourself accountable, okay? Next one, cliche stuff. Raise your hand right now if you want a mediocre life. I'll wait. Anybody? Weird. So we all want more. Everybody in this room wants a better life, yes or no? Yes. And there's reasons why we fight for that better life. But the problem is most companies and most motivational speakers use this, what is your why, as the cliche thing. Listen, you've probably seen 9,000 motivational videos on what's your why. And you have to work for your why. And you have to be inspired and watch all this shit. Well, I'm going to tell you guys right now. I was in a very depressed, dark place in my life about 12 years ago. And in 12 years, I've really taken myself to another level because all I did, I'm not kidding you, every single morning was created a routine. And that routine is pretty simple. If you're faith-based, if you're not, that's up to you guys, completely okay. But I wake up every single morning and I pray first. I write down 10 things that I'm grateful for. This is my routine. I post a motivational post every single day. These motivational guys, these influencers say, oh, I have 80,000 followers. Well, let me tell you something. When Instagram first came out, 13, 14 years ago, whenever that time frame was, well, I wanted to post stuff for people to feel good about themselves because I was in the most dark and depressed place of my life. And it held me accountable. So I wake up, I pray, I write down 10 gratitudes, I do my motivational post, and then I send out 3 random text messages every single day. I go through my contacts, I turn the phone around so I can't see it, I scroll through the names, and I put my finger and I just stop one. And wherever it stops, I send them a message and I say, listen, whether we've talked like recently or not, I just want you to know that people go through things, life can be tough, but I want you to know someone's thinking about you today, and I hope you have the best day possible. I do it every single day. Because all of this stuff, what's stopping you from having a better life, it's really you. And we're going to kind of get into that now. So who's to blame? Common answer. Your parents, your story. You got to stop. Because I have a story too. We all do. My story, just because I went through struggle, is not any worse off, or it's not any more important than you are. I was at an event with 4,000 people. It was an insurance company. And there was a gentleman sitting in the front of another person. And I told them, I said, man, when you have a story, your impact of how that story affected you, that's on you. That's your impact. Because this kid drove a BMW. He had the Rolex. He had all the nice stuff. And the kid in front of him automatically assumed that everything was handed to him. You got this silver spoon. Your life has to be great. And I told them, what if this kid has a father that was never around? What if his father travels so much and his mother is just there for the time being? Maybe she's sick, maybe she's ill, maybe the relationships aren't great. You don't know someone's story. But yet you judge people just by looking at them. Like right now, be honest, by raise of hands in the room, who would think that I'm the CEO of a just shy of an 8-figure consulting firm if you just saw me sitting at a bar? 1, I love the honesty. Maybe 2, that's great. Thank you for the honesty though. But the truth is you really wouldn't. 8 figures is not a small number. My partner Brandon has every dot. That's Brandon in the back. Wave to Brandon. Cool. On the count of 3, let's get engaged and say, hi Brandon. 1, 2, 3. Hi Brandon. That was all right. We'll get better. But Brandon has all the dots. I do not. I grew up in the streets. But see, sometimes people use your story, your parents, as an excuse. The kid in front of this person at the event, after I got done talking to him, he was like, man, I kept thinking about my struggles, everything I've gone through. I grew up in humble beginnings. My parents couldn't give me anything, right? I had to stretch just to make $1. I had to survive. And there's a lot of people that have those stories. But just because he drives a BMW and he has all this stuff doesn't mean his story isn't harder than yours. The event got done. Both of them came up to me. They sat side by side. They said they hadn't talked in over a year because of the judgment this one gentleman had on the other one. And the gentleman that drove the nice car and had the nice things knew that he was being judged. And they said, dude, we haven't talked in a year. The passion behind what you spoke and the story that you told allowed us just to have a conversation. First time in a year. We sat down. I told him the struggles. The kid's dad passed away 3 years ago. The mother didn't have a job because the father was the income provider. The life insurance policy left them hardly anything. So all this kid had, all his nice stuff, it's a show. Just like Instagram. 20,000 of my followers are fake because when I started Instagram, I wanted to prove, right, that I was something cool and people followed me. But nobody admits that. Everybody that's on Instagram, it's the highlight reel. Do you post when you had a bankruptcy? Do you do that? Oh, I filed bankruptcy yesterday. You post that on your Instagram? Raise your hand if you do that. Nobody? Oh, weird. Okay. How about I got a car repossessed? How about twice? I got 2 cars repossessed. How about I cheated? I stole. I've been arrested. Are you posting that on IG? Anybody doing that? Raise your hand for doing that. I did all those things. That was me. 1998, I filed bankruptcy. 1999, after filing bankruptcy, I had a car repossessed. 2001, I had another car repossessed. I stole a toilet from Home Depot on the first house that we had because I thought I had enough money to rehab a house. If I was gonna steal something, hopefully it would be cooler than a toilet, right? But I'm rehabbing a house. And I took the toilet, I put it on one of those carts and I rolled it up to the front and I said, hey, I'm just returning this. Like an idiot. But what drove me was my story. It drove me down, it didn't drive me up. Because I sat in my driveway one day not letting my wife know that we were broke. We spent every single penny trying to rehab this house, we didn't have enough. So I had to go steal a toilet just so we could use the restroom. It was insanity. That was it. I've been arrested for fighting. I ran illegal card games for a decade of my life. Your CEO yesterday, well, what'd you do for a living for so long? I ran illegal card games. I gambled in a pool hall. That was my life. But see, people judge you based on your story, and most of the time, your blame, it's you. You're using your story as a crutch. And I had to realize in a very short period of time that I could do the woe is me bullshit, be locked up in a room, and complain about my life, or I have to do something to get out of it. And a lot of times we don't have people to help us do that. So when we talk about the truth, it's you, okay? I hate PowerPoints, by the way. My partners make me use one. Okay, so anyways, no one's coming to save you, right? It's you versus you. I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm a tattooed tough guy, I'd like to think. I was a drunk guy, running illegal card games with $5,000 to $10,000 cash in my pocket downtown, buying bottles, thought I was living the life after my first marriage. I always tell people I've been married 27 years. Round of applause for that, damn. 2 wives, but it's still 27 years, okay. So, anyways, but you know, I remember going downtown and I thought I was living on top of the world. I didn't own anything, didn't even own my car. My credit was so bad, I was using buy here, pay here, paying 30% interest on a car that was super shitty. But I was walking around with $10,000. I was renting a place, hadn't filed taxes in 10 years. 10 years I hadn't filed taxes. I thought I was living the life. 10 grand cash, walk in, I'll take this bottle, I'll take that bottle. God, was I full of shit. Because see, when card games were good, I was making $5,000 to $10,000 a week cash. Raise your hand if you've seen the movie Molly's Game. Anybody? That was me. A little lower level, but that was me. But not too much lower. Vice President of Walt Disney World played cards at my card game. The VP of Walt Disney World. I had some high-level executives that were playing poker at my card games. I had waitresses, catered food, we'd rent penthouses. This is net 5 to 10K a week. And then I got robbed at gunpoint. I was jacked up on steroids back then. I boxed for 8 years, and I was a very angry person because I thought I was happy and I thought these little things would be great. Get robbed at gunpoint, no big deal, happens, whatever. Everybody comes back like a week later because they were scared to come at home poker games because they don't want to get robbed. Next card game, a week later, inside job. I have armed security at my games now. Littered with people, not kidding you, shotgun at the door, bulletproof vest after the first robbery. Get robbed the second time. You're thinking, how's that happen? Well, it's an inside job. I was all tatted up, steroids. The robber whispered in my ear, Todd, we know who you are, and we know you're kind of angry, and you know you're getting robbed, but if you move, you're going to die tonight. As I have a cold barrel sitting next to my head. So I thought to myself, like, what do I do? Like, I have all these people here, these good people, these friends of mine. What do I do? They're going to rob us. They're asking to put all the watches, all the cash, everything on the table. People were hiding money in their socks. They made people get undressed. It was insanity. And so I'm yelling at them, take it easy, take it easy, take it easy, pistol whip, boom. Fall on the ground, blood everywhere. But I'm living the life because I have $5,000 to $10,000 in my pocket every week. So when I ask you why you do what you do, the first answer is always money. Money's a big part of life, but it's not everything. People that tell you that if you don't have money or money won't make you happy, they're lying. Money will make you happy. Having more money is better than not having it. But it's not everything. So after I got robbed the third time, a month and a half later, everybody stopped coming to card games in Orlando. I lost every single dollar of income that I knew how to make. Remember, didn't have a job, no resume, no nothing, and I lost it all. So I went to a very dark depression. I was living in a room because I lost my house that I was renting because I didn't have the money with 3 college kids. I was paying $500 a month for this room. At the time, my wife and I had been split up, my ex-wife, for about 3 years. I had a daughter that was 7 and a daughter that was 11. And they would come over because my parents had to drive them 20 miles from Lake Mary, Florida to downtown Orlando, Florida, just 20 miles because I didn't have a car to go get them. I was drinking a lot. I was sleeping 12 hours a day and crying the other 12. Massive depression. And everything was like, what is going on with my life? Like, God, why me? Like, why are you doing this to me? I'm not a bad guy. Yeah, okay, I run illegal card games, you know, I do steroids, I fight people down. I get it. But I didn't, like, you know, rob a bank or kill someone. Like, why are you doing this to me? And it was always why? Placing blame after blame after blame. It's never my fault. And then they dropped my kids off one day. And my kids literally come over, and I'll never, God, I get emotional talking about it, this is literally, guys, I'm telling you, this is 20 years ago. And I get emotional talking about it now. I'm sleeping because I had been drinking the night before like crazy. And if you know me, and Brandon can attest for this, yeah, I like to think I'm a tattoo tough guy, but I'm a crier. I cry. I cry when people win American Idol when I see their families happy. That's me. Sorry, make fun of me all you want. I do that. But 20 years ago, they dropped my kids off, and I'm sleeping after being completely annihilated the night before. Luckily, I never got into drugs, but I was still drunk, basically. I remember my daughter coming up to me, and she says, Daddy, we're here whenever you're ready to come out and play with us. 9 a.m. in the morning. I wake up at 6 p.m. The guy that lived with me, a college student, took my kids for the day to McDonald's, to the little playground. They went out and they went to a movie. I come back, I wake up at 6 p.m. because my daughter is shaking me, my oldest daughter, God, who's still my best friend, so sorry. But she's shaking me and she says, Dad, it's okay if you don't want to play with us and you need to sleep. And it's okay if you don't want to spend time with us. We know that you'll get better soon. It's an 11-year-old. Like, if you have a child in this room right now, imagine that happening. Like, if I wasn't already at the lowest point of my life, I just literally hit rock bottom. Because as a parent, we want to do more for our kids, right? Like, we want to be there for them. We want to give them everything we didn't have. Give them a better life. Show them the way. But I wasn't doing that because I was blaming me. And finally, after everything came to fruition, I said to myself, if no one's going to help me, I have to help myself. Because when you run a card game, if you know anything about this, guys, they have this thing called a book. A book is where if Chris came to my card game and Chris lost $4,000, and I know Chris is good for the money, I would literally tell Chris, if you need a couple $1,000, no problem at all, pay me next week. That's called a book. It's credit, right? So I give you credit, they write it on the book. I was lending on average about $20,000 a week to people. And when I got robbed at gunpoint the third time, the only form of income, I would call those same people I was lending $20,000 a week to, and they wouldn't give me $100. They wouldn't help me at all. Why? Because they knew I was depressed, and they knew I had no form of way to pay them back at that time. I don't blame them. But what it taught me is that no one's going to save you. No one's going to be there for you. But we expect people to do that. I need help. Someone do this for me. Teach me this. The accountability wasn't on me. It was on everybody else. And I would say, hey, Chris, dude, come on, bro. I lent you $20,000 like 2 weeks ago. I just need $100, dude, to get by. I can't take my kids to eat food. No. Week later goes by, still depressed, listening to, slow, depressing music. My kids come back by, I'm not drunk, thank God, best thing. I used to have this trash can full of change next to my bed when I was broke. You ever done like save a bunch of change, put in a bottle? Anybody done that, right? Whatever, someplace? Okay, trash can full of change. When my kids came over, I was so broke, I used to lay in my bed as I had to force myself to get up, and I used to reach down in the trash can, I would pick up like a bunch of change, and we'd walk 1.5 miles to McDonald's to get a cheeseburger because they were 79 cents. So like this, I can feed my kids at least. And I remember that week I reached in the trash can and I swear on everything, my hand to God, I pulled out 12 cents. Like I was like, where's the money? So what do? I don't call Chris, I call the next guy. I call the next person. I call the next person, I let money. And they all won't give me any help. Because we as people expect that our family, our friends are always going to be there for us. But do me a favor, raise your hand if someone has disappointed you and hasn't been there for you, family, friend, or whatever, at one point in your life. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. We've all gone through stuff, right? Things change, people change, but you really don't know who they are until you're down and in the dirt. Like nothing is going to do anything. They're not going to help you. You're at your worst. Then you find out who real people are. Truth is, guys, I've had a lot of moments like that. Brandon, I've told this story twice. I love Chris. You guys seem like great people. On everything I know and love, I've told this story twice. I used to drive a white Bentley when I started making money. Bought the Bentley, sitting in the parking lot one day. Wife and I got in a huge argument. My fault, by the way. I tell Brandon I'm going to kill myself. I have a pistol in my hand. I'm calling him profusely crying because I don't think I'm a good father, not a good husband. Everything's going wrong in my life. And Brandon literally, he's one guy that's been there for me every second of my life. He rushes to me and pulls a gun out of my hand. Because I was such in a state of depression, I wanted all these people to just show up for me. And one person did. I was texting everybody, dude. Why? Because I wanted attention. There was no accountability on me. Look at me, I'm gonna kill myself. I was close, not gonna lie. But like there was people that just didn't show up. He did. You gotta have good people in your life because the truth is, guys, and we're gonna get into some fun stuff, won't be depressing today, I promise. But I think I want you guys to understand that the accountability you have on yourselves has to be yours. If you're not winning, it's your fault. If you are winning, it's your fault. So when we talk about what does accountability even mean, I'm going to ask somebody, what did you write down, sir? What does accountability mean?
Doing what is right when no one is looking.
I'm sorry, sir, say again.
Doing what is right when no one is looking.
Oof, love that. Yes, ma'am? What'd you write?
I wrote being responsible for my actions and supportive to my peers when needed.
Amen. Powerful one. Who else? I'll call on you. Go ahead.
I wrote keeping on a straight path.
That's very important. Sir?
So being able to look at yourself in the mirror.
Does everybody agree with all that? I think it all falls in line with it's my fault. Does everybody agree? Here's the thing. People don't like being held accountable. Why? Someone tell me why. It's easy not to. What else?
No one wants to accept failure.
No one wants to accept failure. I'm sorry?
Something like if they're spoiled.
Spoiled, right? How about leaders? What if you are, who's been here less than 2 months? Raise your hand. I know there's a couple of you, right? Okay. What if you went up to a leader and you knew something? We had a great conversation yesterday. You've done extraordinary things in your life, but you saw something a leader did and you didn't like it. And you went up to him and say, hey, listen, I saw you do this and I just wanted to get some context with it because it's not really integrity based, in my opinion. I would just like to talk to you about it. And he would say, you've been here 8 weeks, like, you don't know me, and just tells you to go do something. Would you feel like you're in a safe environment?
No.
Do you feel like if your leader doesn't want to be held accountable, that you should be held accountable?
Yes.
Why?
So I can be responsible for what I'm supposed to be doing.
Because everybody else's actions, it's very difficult to control. Your actions, you can control. Here's the thing. I'm going to ask, who has the kids in here in this room right now? Okay, Chris, let me ask you a question. If you had no money at all, and you were about to get kicked out of your house, and your 4, correct, beautiful children lived with you, and they were going to be in the streets, and you were absolutely broke, and you had to come up with $30,000 in 5 days. Otherwise, you're in the streets. Would you figure it out?
Sure.
Why?
Have to.
The value of trying to be accountable for your actions and earn is so high because your kids are going to be in the streets. Listen, guys, I grew up in Section 8 housing. It was $250 a month. My mother had breast cancer. They gave her 6 months to live when I was 15 years old. That was 35 years ago. Chemo and radiation. They said if the cancer doesn't kill you, the chemo and radiation will, because technology and medicine was not what it is today. My mother's 82 years old today and beat cancer 3 times. Give her a huge round of applause, please. But depression ran strong in my family. My parents were on antidepressant pills my entire life. So I remember looking at my mother for a year. The only time I ever saw her was either sleeping or throwing up, bald, depressed, because she's losing her hair. There was a tub, I'll never forget it, in our Section 8 housing house, and she used to throw up in it. And I used to clean it and pour it off to the side. 15 years old. My dad was so depressed, he was the get-rich-quick guy. He was the guy, I got a new idea, Todd, we're going to be millionaires tomorrow. I got it. Every holiday, guess what idea didn't work? The new get-rich-quick scheme. Every holiday, no Christmas gifts. Every holiday, it was depression at the table. My dad constantly telling me, I'm so sorry I couldn't do more and I wish I could have, and I'm so proud of you kids kind of making it on your own. Guess what? Bills weren't getting paid, so who had to do it? Me. I didn't have a choice. The accountability was there when I was 15, but sometimes just because we have kids and the value is so high, we'll do anything for the people that we love most. Raise your hand if you do anything for the people you love most. Raise your hand right now. Okay, here's the thing. Some of you in this room, you're lying. Because the truth is, there probably has been people that have reached out to you in the past at one point or another, and you couldn't help them. Maybe it was financially, maybe it was something you couldn't do. Not because you didn't want to, because it wasn't within your power to. But see, we allowed ourselves to not hold ourselves accountable because the truth is, $30,000 in a week is not easy to come up with, yes or no? But he'll figure out a way because his kids, the pain he will see his kids suffer is worth it. He'll work 24 hours a day, he'll call every person he needs, he'll start selling anything he has just so they have a home. That was me at 15. The pressure was immeasurable. But I had to decide what was most important. So when you look at the definition of accountability, every answer you gave me is, it's my fault. And the answer is true. So, should you be holding yourself accountable? Who's got a dollar bill in this room right now? Anybody got a dollar bill? Can I have one, please? I promise you I'll Venmo it when I get back because it might be horrible when I get done with it. So, just $1 bill. That's it. Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate you. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. What is your worth? Somebody answer, or I'll call on you. What's your worth? What's your worth, ma'am? I'm sorry? Doesn't have to be a dollar amount. What is your worth? How do you think about yourself? What's your value? I'm sorry? Amen. What else? Who else? What's your worth? Sir?
The love of the people around me, the people I care about.
That's what you do, but what's your value to you? How do you think about yourself?
Being able to... Sorry, I'm clicking up like right now.
It's okay. Here, I want to be honest with you. Okay? Immeasurable. Everybody started clapping. It's not easy to talk about yourself and the value of who you are, right? Because no one just immediately just said, oh, my worth is this. I'm worth $1 billion. My value is this. But it's something that you have to think about, right? It's weird, right? If someone asks you, like, what's your worth? And you go, well, I don't really know. Because we don't think about it enough. See, let me give you an example. This dollar bill, it's worth $1 right now, right? Everybody look at this, it's worth $1, right? If I crumple it up now, what's it worth? Is it worth like 82 cents? If I crumple it up, what's it worth? Somebody tell me. What's it worth? $1. It's $1? Are you sure? Yeah. What if I step on it? All right, it's got to be worth like 95 cents now, right? Because it's got like, I won't give it back to you. I was that proud of you. But it's like 95 cents now, right? Like worth like 95 cents? $1. Still worth what? $1. What if I do this? What's it worth? $1. Why? Scotch tape, baby, right? If you're broke like me, Scotch tape, put it back together, still worth $1. See, the problem with us and believing what our worth is, a lot of people in this room have been beat to death. You've been stepped on. You've been crumpled up. And you believe you're worth something less because you've gone through hard times. And the truth is you're not. But in our mind, we think about it. Whether it's divorce, whether it's loss of a loved one, whether it's financial, whether it's you've lost a job or cars, all the shit that I've done in my life. You believe because you're just beaten up and stepped on and crumpled up and things happen that you lose your value, but the truth is that's what builds you. You've got to go through hard times. And if you're the lucky person that doesn't have to do that, God bless you. But here's my wish. I hope that you do go through a hard time because that's where you start persevering and you start holding yourself accountable. So, next question. How do your decisions affect other people in this room? Tell me right now. Somebody say it out loud. Do your decisions affect other people? Yes. Okay. who's a recruiter in this room, sales, whatever, raise your hand if you're that. Okay, raise your hand if you're back, admin staff, raise your hand if you help HR, raise your hand. Keep your hands raised if you are. Hi, please, so I can see you. Okay. Do you think that your value is less than anybody else's at your job because you're not bringing in all this revenue and stuff, ma'am? Please answer honestly. You do. Ma'am, do you? You do? Ma'am?
We shouldn't.
We shouldn't, but who else? You raised your hand, right? Do you think that your value is any less, or sometimes it's looked upon as less because you're not producing revenue?
Yes.
Let me tell everybody else that is not a part of admin and back staff. You wouldn't have a job without those people. Your ability to earn would not be here without those people. Simon Sinek, he is a leadership expert. He's a brilliant human being, speaks at major conferences, is one of my favorite people on the planet. He talks about CEOs, and he says, every time I go up to a CEO, and I ask them, what's the most important? The CEO says, the customers. But most CEOs don't talk to any customers. Who should be the most important to the CEO? His people. Because the people are held accountable to the customers. His people are the ones that he has to pour into, that he has to get to know. He wants to know their names and their families and their loved ones, because that's their job, is to run a profitable company with the CEO, CTO, CMO, CRO, CSO, all the C's. Sound great, right? It's just a title. I always tell people, CEO of my company. Our admin staff, the titles, Todd, Jennifer. That's what the titles are. We all want a title because it thinks it looks cool on a resume. But the title of who you are matters. So how you move affects other people, period. The decisions you make affect other people, because if they mess up and it affects your paycheck, are you going to be mad? Here's what happens in sales, recruiting, generating revenue. I didn't get my paycheck. What did HR do? What did payroll do? I don't know what's going on. Did I do something? It wasn't me. It was their fault. We start placing blame. But the truth is, people make mistakes, but their value is equally as high as yours. But see, companies miss that. And the truth is, there's a lot of salespeople in here that, well, dude, I brought in $1 million last year. I don't know what he's talking about. Well, you don't do everything. And you cannot have a profitable company and good people without all people working together as one. Because without admin staff, without other people, without all these people helping, you have to have them. It works, right? So, okay, next. Who will you become when you know your worth? The truth is, most people don't think about this, right? They don't think about this. Again, I had no degree, no college. I learned the art of sales negotiation in a pool hall. I sat I think I was telling you last night, I was 16 years old in a pool hall, and I would sit there for 6 months and watch people. And I don't know if anybody plays billiards here or pool, okay, but I was learning games like cribbage and tonk and pinochle, and I was gambling for a living for 6 years of my life. I win state 9-ball in 1995, I play really well, but the thing that I missed the most until I got older was the art of negotiation, watching people negotiate a gambling game when I knew that I was way better than someone else, but they were giving me weight. They were giving me handicap because I was making them believe they were better than me. It wasn't gambling to me. I had an edge every single time. I was saying, where you put your cards, when you pick up the deck, you're playing gin. Where you put them, you're holding them. Here's the thing. I can read you, your facial expressions, your movement. That's what I learned. So when I got into sales and started crushing record-breaking companies, and I started taking teams and building teams, I got a name called the Culture Creator, because I would go into an organization, and it's every company, every single time, guys, it's the same here, I promise you it is. There's always the top of the top salespeople, top of the top recruiters, top of the top performers. They just think they're above everybody else because they're always on top. And it's not everybody, but some of you. And some of you that are top performers in the room, you're thinking, shit, that was probably me at one point. Maybe you got smart and changed. But your decisions affect other people. We have literally got rid of top performing individuals in companies where the CEO, all the C-suite team were losing their shit. They're like, dude, what are you doing? That is our top performer. Why are you getting rid of them? We would tell them, listen, get rid of them. If the revenue doesn't increase, don't pay us. And for us to go into an organization for a 2-day deep dive is $50,000. Don't pay us. We won't take the money. If it doesn't work, don't pay us. We have what's called an opinion guarantee, which is how my partner and I built this company over a decade ago called Make Sales Great Again. That's what this company is. This is not political. Make Sell Great Again was built because there are people that lie just to fill their pockets. They're mischievous. These people just, they don't care. They'll tell people anything they need to tell them just so they can get a deal. How many people you know that there are some shady ass salespeople? Raise your hand. Okay, there are everywhere. So they started teaching people to sell the wrong way. And then guess what? VPs get paid, CEOs get paid. They start lining their pockets because the bonuses are coming in. They're flowing, bro. And they're like, I just want that money to come in. And if I get rid of Todd and Brandon and all these top salespeople, that money's going to stop. So I'm going to turn a blind eye. No accountability. So what does that do to the rest of the team? The team says, well, maybe I should do that shit too because they're not getting in trouble. So we created a company that trains sales. And then we realized there was a ton of really horrendous leaders in the world. There are great salespeople moving into positions of leadership just because they were good at sales. That does not make you a good leader. I know great leaders that are horrible at sales, that are running record-breaking sales teams because of accountability and resilience and grit and drive and care. But see, sometimes we miss that. And when we built this company, it was because we wanted to make a difference. So next, you can have more when you know why you want more. So I'm going to ask somebody here, what's your why? What's your why, ma'am?
My why? Like why am I here?
Just what's your why? Why do you get up every day? What are you?
To be great.
Okay. Who else? What's your why? What's your why, sir?
My wife, my family.
Life, family. What else? First of all, raise your hand if obviously the why is the people you love most. Raise your hand if that's it. Dude, here's the thing about that. It's like it's the easiest answer. No shit. Like, yeah, your family, your why, the people you love most. Obviously. And it's not wrong. The answers aren't wrong. Like, who are you doing this for? People you love most. What does success look like for you? And I always tell people, they think about the why, and they're like, oh, this is super corny. But I'm going to give you guys a second, everybody in this room, to write a why down that's other than your family. So write that down. Because here's the deal, while you guys are writing. It takes thought. Just like I want you guys to write down what your worth is. It takes thought to why you get up and drive every day, because it's not just money. It's not just family. And the truth is, if you look at this, and we don't have to raise your hands, again, I hate PowerPoints, so I'm just going to talk through this. But how many of you believe that you have another gear? Because 90% of the room raised your hand when we said, how many of you believe your why is the people you love most? It's the easiest answer. But how many people, by raise of hands right now, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand, actually believe you have another gear? There's more you can do. Raise your hand if you believe there's more you can do. Okay, who didn't raise their hand? Raise your hands now. Who feels like they're running full speed, they don't have another ounce of effort in them that they can give? Okay, so all of you are supposed to raise your hand. I'm going to ask you again. How many people in this room right now believe they have another gear? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. That's everybody. That isn't one person, okay? Here's the thing. Question for you then. Is family enough?
No.
It's not enough. Because the truth is, if you said you have another gear, all this up here, you have room to go. You have areas to fix. There's more you could be doing. There's goals that you haven't reached yet. Is family enough? Yes or no? Is family enough?
Yeah.
The truth is it's not. Because the truth is, when I look at here, if family was enough, you wouldn't be watching Netflix if you're working remote. You wouldn't be fibbing to your leaders telling them that you're working extra hours. You've worked really hard this week when you worked 4 days and you took off. Your cameras would be on Zoom calls. You guys know what I'm talking about. Raise your hand if your camera's always off. Your leaders know who you are. Here's the thing. Everybody's laughing like, shit, I'm not raising my hand in front of my leaders. No chance, right? Okay, here's the thing. Why are your cameras off? Because you're not prepared. You don't have that extra gear, right? Zoom calls. If you work remote, why aren't you dressed nice? Why don't you look professional? Because if family was enough, you would be. If you have specific goals in your life and you know that you have to reach them, like for instance, you said your family, right, sir? Okay, love the answer. It's very true. There's nothing wrong with that. But get deeper. Why? Why do you want to work harder for your family? What does it give you? What do they get out of it?
It's my job.
Happiness.
Happiness. Okay. What about something? Do you want to buy another house or put your kids through college or go on a vacation? What are those things? What are most important there?
Yeah, I mean, all of the above.
All of the above. How much do you have to say? Do you have a house now, sir, that you own?
Not that I own.
Okay, so if you have a goal to set a house, how much do you have to put aside exactly every single month to get the deposit? Here's the thing, stop. Okay, famous FBI negotiator Chris Voss. Read the book, you should watch it. It's called Never Split the Difference. It's an amazing book, right? When I asked this gentleman that, and you look a different direction, it means you're thinking, right? So you're thinking about an answer to give me, because the truth is, and not give this gentleman a hard time at all, because that was me my entire life, sir, is that you don't have a specific number. See, your why is, oh, it's my family. Okay, so when you reach your goal, what does that do for you? What are they gonna get? If you don't have your goals written down, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car, I want to take my kids on the vacation they've always wanted to go on, and then you don't have a dollar amount next to it, and you don't know exactly how much money you have to save every single month to get there, and you're not keeping track of that, then your why isn't serious enough. You don't care. It's a cliche answer. And that was me my entire life when I didn't have a dollar to my name, 12 cents in a trash can. I wanted to set a goal, but the truth is we don't get granular enough. Your why isn't important enough, because the truth is if you had a goal, for instance, ma'am, what's a goal that you want for your family?
To buy a house with my fiance for both of us.
Love that. Do you know how much the house is going to cost?
Right now the market, probably $500 to $600 in Austin.
I would buy a house for $500 to $600. I'm just kidding. I know what you meant. But here's the thing, right? $500-600 grand. Okay, so what's the deposit? Is it an FHA loan? Is it 3.5% down? Is it 10%? What is it? See, if you don't know these things, your goal, it's just a dream. It's not real. So your why is, my family and my kids, and I want to buy a house, and I want to go on a dream vacation. Last night we were talking to the amazing people at our table, and I was talking about travel. Because my parents, and I saw my dad crying every single holiday, no Christmas gifts, no nothing, oh, the woe is me, the regret. Dude, I'm going to tell you something. My goal was to travel. As a matter of fact, when I got married to my amazing wife, who is way out of my league currently, okay, before we got married, I said, hey, babe, because she doesn't like to travel. She's not a big traveler. She doesn't like planes and stuff. I said, I just want to be very clear. If traveling isn't in your deal, then we don't need to do this. Because I'm not going to stop traveling, because the why for me was pain and suffering as a kid. I wanted to do things that I've never done before, and nothing in this world was going to stop me from doing that. She said, babe, no, I get it. I know why you want to do this. I know why you feel the way you do about it because of your past, and I know why it hurts you the way it does, so I'm going to allow you to do anything you want because I'm your wife and I love you, and if that's what makes you happy, then let's start setting goals to do that. And we did. Now, my wife and I have been together for 15 years. Thank you. I got it right the second time, thank God. All right. 15 years. Brandon can tell you, I've been to 48 countries. My wife has been to 3. I bring her father and her brother-in-law and my beautiful daughters with me. We've been all over the world, from Israel to Iceland to Spain, all the countries. It's very cool. My goal is to reach 100 countries before I go. I know exactly how much money I have to save next year for the vacation to go to the continents and the countries and the states in Florida that United States that I haven't seen yet. I know what it's going to cost already next year. See, people don't do it because, let's go on a vacation. Well, how much is it going to cost? And listen, I teach sales, so I know what it is, guys, right? My wife's gotten very good at sales. By the way, I'm the worst closer in my house by far. I wish I had time to show you a text message from my daughter, who's 10 years old, who I just had to waste I showed you, right? $98 on a pair of pajamas because all of her dance friends had it. It's like insane. She got, dad, but daddy, just kept asking like, shit, okay, I'm going to buy them. But my wife, she knew why. She knew it was important to me, right? So when you look at like sales in general, that's your life. You have to sell yourself. If you're admin, back office, you are in sales. You are in sales. You have to sell the people that you're the right person for the job. You have to sell yourself that you want to wake up every day and your why is bigger than you sleeping in or hitting the snooze button. If you're working remote, your why has to be big enough for you to go, I am going to get up, I'm going to turn my camera on, I'm going to get dressed to the T's, I'm going to get prepared for the call, I'm going to do the things that I know that I need to do to be successful, because guess what? Family isn't enough. We all want materialistic things, dude. You don't have to live by it, but everybody loves a nice watch or a nice car. We all do. You're lying if you say you don't. You're lying. But your why has to be very serious, and it's got to be specific. Like the one time my wife wanted to go on a vacation, her why was so important. She wanted to go on vacation. It was at this very expensive place. So my wife pitched me. She said, hey, babe, I found the perfect vacation. It's perfect. She goes, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to fly from here to Spain, Barcelona, direct. And we're going to spend a few days in Barcelona. The Waldorf, they've got some decent rates there. We're going to stay there for like 4 days. Once we leave the Waldorf, we're going to take a Mediterranean cruise. Mediterranean cruise is going to hit 6 different stops. I know how you like to see all these different countries, Todd, but it's going to hit 3 different countries, 6 different stops. When we're done with that, we're going to take another flight over to Iceland because I know the girls hasn't seen it yet. You keep talking about it, and I found some really cheap rates over there. And I think that that's good because we'll just take another flight from there as soon as we get off the Mediterranean cruise. And then we're going to spend 6 days at this resort that I found there. It's fantastic. We're going to go swimming in the Blue Lagoon there. It's awesome. She's telling me all these things. What do you think I'm thinking the entire time she's talking about all this? 2 words. How much? It's all, like, Jesus, babe. Like, I'm glad you don't like to go on vacations because like all I kept thinking is like how much? I'm waiting for her to get done. She just kept going. Like here to Barcelona, 4 days here, Waldorf Astoria, Mediterranean here. I'm like, dude, like relax. Like that's more than I do in 5 years. So I kept thinking, how much? And she, at the end of it, she goes, I said, babe, well, how much is that going to cost? She's like, well, I mean, I did all the math. It's like $17,500 or something like that for all of us to go. So it's not really bad. She goes, I found this one cruise that goes to like St. Bart's and stuff like that. It's like $3,500 all in. I go, do that one. Like do that one. What did she just do?
She cut you.
She conned me. She closed the shit out of me. It was insane. In life, don't ask for what you want, ask for more than what you want so you'll get what you want, right? That's what I teach my kids. And I'm like, well, dude, what am I doing? I just taught a champion who just closed me because she never wanted to go. She hates flying. I kept thinking to myself, until I said yes, I was like, oh my gosh, like I just got roped into that. I probably could have got a vacation for $1,500. She forced me to spend $3,500 because I didn't want to spend $17,500. But see, my wife, the why of it, it was very important. Her dream was to go to St. Bart's and stay at this one place, right? So her why was important enough that she figured out a way to sell the closer that teaches other people how to sell because her why was big enough. So what really drives you guys? Here's the thing. What drives me is doubters. I have a list in my phone. I'll be happy to show you guys after this event. People that doubted me. I was drunk, fighting downtown, steroids, cars repossessed, bankruptcies, all this stuff, running illegal card games for a decade of my life. And then I posted a motivational post one day. And all of a sudden, I said, man, hope everybody has a good day. And it was like the worst motivational post ever. Like, hope everybody has a good day and go out there and get them, right? I was like, and I get all these messages, dude. People are like, Todd, like, what are you doing? Like, take that down. Like, you're the guy that runs a legal card game. You fight people down. You're not a motivational speaker, bro. Take it down. And at that moment, I realized that they knew me for the person that I was, not for the person that I wanted to be. See, that's a big thing with a lot of people. They don't, like there's people in here right now, you don't know your people. You think you do because you know their name, but you don't know your people. You don't know the person they want to be. You don't know what their dreams, aspirations are. You don't know what their why is. You know why it's driving them. But here's the problem with that. When you don't know that, they know you as the person that you are. See, at that moment, they knew me as the person that I was. And every person I want to tell that I was going to be a motivational speaker and that I was going to own a consulting firm and train sales and leadership and development. I was going to be known worldwide. That was my goal. I just want people to know my name. That's it. I want to create a legacy. I want to impact lives. I do this because I love it and I love the passion. That's why I do it, not because of the money. They were telling me, no way, no chance you could do it. So I started making a list of those people that doubted me in my phone. And it wasn't screw the haters, because a lot of people say that, right? Screw the haters, you're good, screw the haters. It wasn't that. So how many of these people can I prove wrong to hopefully one day get them to believe in me? Because when they believe in you, after they doubted you, they become a warrior with you for life. So the list keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, but that's what drove me. Because here's the crazy thing. Now that people know me for the person that I am today, when I tell my story, like I was to your amazing CEO last night, he was asking me, well, where'd you start? How's this? They don't believe I was the guy I was back then because they know me of the person that I am now. So the real question is can you change? Is there more? If you're making $50,000 a year here, or you're making $1 million a year, there's more. But you have to believe that you can, but sometimes belief isn't enough. And all these motivational speakers, they tell you, oh, it's enough. Just believe and have faith, and you have to have that. I'm a faith-driven man, by the way. Recently rebaptized 4 years ago. Give me a round of applause for that. Thank you, okay? But the truth is, what drove me, and I speak at my church too, to the youth kids, I tell them, because I'm relatable. Tattoos, been through heartache, gone through all of it, I'm relatable. But my story and the doubters, that's what forced me to be better. Creating the routine. I wanted to win so bad because I wanted to prove everyone else wrong. That was my goal in life. Like, dude, I was so focused. There's no way no one's gonna tell me that I can't. No way. But see, some of you have that mindset like, I'm gonna prove them wrong. But are you really bought in? Because the truth is, most of us aren't. We just say it. Words and movement. Write this down. Words and movement are two completely different things. Write this down. Words and movement are two very completely different things. Words and movement, two very different things. Because there's a lot of things, guys, that I'm also afraid of. I'm afraid of poverty. I'm afraid of mediocrity. I'm afraid of going back to the life that I grew up in. I'm afraid of not setting a good example for my kids and the people that I see and surround myself with. This is all fears. They literally haunt me. I lose sleep over it. I literally sleep 4 hours a night because my mind's constantly going. I want to serve people. We say sell to serve. Don't sell to survive. Because you should be serving people. When I speak, I want you to feel it. I want you to know when I get emotional, that's not fake. I can't make myself cry like this. That is me. And I'm okay as a man saying that. But see, all of these fears that I wish I would have, my father, God rest his soul, passed away, hopefully that's good, July 17th, 7:31 p.m., 2017. He was my hero when I lived here, and he had nothing except the most amount of love that any father could ever give their kids. He loved harder than anyone, and I'm going to tell you, that kid with the BMW I told you about earlier, he'd rather have that than the BMW. But see, my dad wasn't a finance guy. And when he passed away, I remember, anybody know Les Brown here? I know we said, anybody know Les Brown? You should look Les Brown up. He's amazing, right? #1 motivational speaker. Les is a very good friend of mine, been on stages together, he's awesome. Les pulled me out of a dark hole. Because when my father passed away, he's the first person I called. We talked about it. We had a conversation about it. And he was just like, your father doesn't want you to be him in finance. He wants you to be him in love. Hold on to that. But see, what drove me is that I don't ever want to be the what if person. See, Brandon hates it. Got a great company, making great money, living the life, doing what we love. I take every meeting when people call me. My staff says, this person called, they want to meet you, I don't know what it's about. Put it on the calendar. I want to do this, so put it on the calendar. Brandon would go to all of these meetings, and 8,642 million of them were all bullshit. Waste of time. But what if that one meeting changed my life? What if that one person that you guys placed allowed you to get 10 placements? What if that one person that you poured into changed your life? Like, you got to think about this. This isn't always about the money. It's about the impact of changing people's lives. And the truth is, because we had Christmases with no gifts and all that stuff, I never want to be that guy. But the what if will kill you. And my dad died from regret. He had congestive heart failure. He had all these problems going along with him. Died at 86 years of age, had me late in life. One of the best human beings on the planet. That being said, I saw him suffer in a nursing home for 3 years, okay? Because a lot of them are very horrible places, drugging him up all the time. All the stories you hear are true. But every time I would visit my dad, he said, I wish I would have. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done this differently. I wish I would have done this. What is that? I'm like, dude, I don't want to be there. I wish I would have. When I die, and every one of you should have this mindset, we have failed 1,000,000 times before our company took off. You're going to fail as a recruiter. You're going to fail as admin staff. You're going to fail. And guess what? We teach failure is a good thing. We teach failure is the norm. We teach failure. You come to me and say, I failed, Todd. And be okay with it. Because the truth is, without failure, you don't learn. But see, some of us are afraid. You don't want to go to your C-suite team and say, I failed. You want to go, look at me, man. I did awesome. Placed 15 people, dude. Look at my paycheck. I'm doing everything you said, Chris. I got it. I'm good to go, man. I'm covered. I'm doing everything. Look at me. It's the accolades. See, I went from wanting to be the number one salesperson to wanting to teach other people to be the number one salespeople, and it changed my life. I went from being the culture creator that goes into companies and changes the culture to wanting to teach other people to do that, because that impact is way different. It's way different. And the impact is so much bigger because I have stories where people tell me this changed my life. And I wanted to believe that I was a small part of that, because that's what the legacy I wanted, but I'm never going to be the what if person. I don't want to die saying I wish I would have. So my wife and I have an agreement. Everything she wants to do, we're going to do, if it's within our power. And if it's not, we're going to figure out a way. We're going to set a goal. It's going to be very specific. We're going to know how to get there. Period. End of conversation. I live in a house right now that I absolutely love. I drive a great car. My wife has a great car. My daughter is in dance competition. She's in company that costs about, $9,742 a month. And I get to do it every single month. Why? Because my why to give them everything I couldn't have as a kid is so big, and now I know exactly what I need to do financially, the effort I need to put in order to get to the place that I want to get to. But some of you just believe your why as it is. When I ask you to write what your worth was and ask you to speak, it's not easy. When you're up here role playing, when you're on a remote, it's not easy. Why? Someone tell me why. When you role played, it wasn't easy. Tell me why.
To be vulnerable.
Vulnerable, right? What else? I'm sorry?
You don't have all the answers.
Sure, you don't have all the answers. Your peers. Here's the thing, anxiety, right, dude? You're like, speaking of your C-suite teams here, and I was telling them last night, dude, this shit ain't easy with you guys around, okay? Like, they're like, I don't want to look embarrassed. I don't want to mess up. What do I gotta say? And you're thinking, I don't want to miss this. And then it messes up your whole thing, right? Because you think you just want to be perfect. Here's the problem, okay? What if you did role play every single day in front of your peers? Would you get better? Of course you would. It's second nature. How much better would you pitch on Zoom? Way better. Because here's the thing, if you can do it in front of your peers and you practice it. We do consulting for phone call center people that sell over Zoom. We do all that stuff, right? And we tell them, get up in front of them. I want you to look them dead in their eyes and pitch them. And they stumble. The best closers in their business, they stumble, dude. They stumble. Why? Because the people that you're on Zoom with, they don't know you jacked up. They don't know you messed up the pitch, right? Just keep going. Like, they don't know. Keep going. But see, some of you don't take the time to practice enough to make yourselves more money and actually apply all of your lessons to what you learn. So let's get to the next thing. I want you guys to write this down and do it later. I want you to write down what truly motivates you, okay? It's not your why. What truly is it the doubters, okay? Is it the people? Because negative motivation is a big thing for me, okay? And your motivation can be negative. It can be people that doubt you. There could be write down what truly motivates you and what specific goals do you have. And again, be very specific, okay? Next, I want you to write this down. What happens when you win? Okay, who does it affect and how? So if you do the things you say you're going to do, who does it affect? Your kids, your family, your loved ones? How about someone you're just trying to support? You've taken in someone who had a bad life and you helped them. Who does it affect when you win? When you get to reach those goals, who does it affect? See, some of you think you know that, but you don't know that. I have it written down everywhere. If I reach X, I'm going to affect these people, their names specifically. What it's going to do for them in their lives, but some of you don't get granular enough. I want a new house so my kids can have a better life. It's great, but it's not specific enough. What about that life makes it better for them? The playground in the back, the time you get to spend with them. If you work hard and you earn money, it's going to give you freedom to do the things you want, to do the traveling. You got to get specific. Finally, the last piece. What happens when you lose? This is the hard one. If you stay average, okay? If you stay average and you literally cannot, and you lose, who's affected by your loss? If you lost your job today, who does it affect and how? I want you to write this down, and then when you're done writing this stuff down, guys, just raise your hand and we'll move on. I do not, or take a picture of this, I don't care. Whatever you guys want to do, okay? But I need you guys to pay attention to this, because I promise you, if you do anything that I've talked about today, this will change your life. If you just, please do this, okay? Told you a story about my mother already, we'll move on. But by raise of hands, who's done? They got a picture of this, write everything down. By raise of hands, okay, everybody's still going, keep going. That's fine, please, this is very important. This will literally change your life, I promise you. Because here's the thing, we want to get the rewards. And man, if I do well, for me, I can buy my dream car, which was a Bentley. If I do well, I can do that. Got the dream car, but now what? I reached the goal. What else? What else is good enough now? See, for me, My why is time. If I make X amount of money and I invest X amount of money, I'll be able to spend more time with the people that I love. We'll be able to go to these vacations. When we go on the vacations, we're going to stop at this tour. When we go to this tour, we're going to go to this one. I have my goals that specific, dude, till I see it every single day. But what that is the glory. That's the Instagram profile. That's the good stuff. Right below that, who suffers if I don't succeed? And I want to feel that pain. Because if you don't feel that pain, that means it's not important enough at all. And it has to be important enough for you to feel. When you feel, you move. You make different decisions. If you don't feel, you just stay mediocre. And nobody in this room, the very first question I ask is, who wants to be mediocre? Nobody raised their hand. Well, no shit. I don't want to be mediocre too. But are you literally planning your life in a way that is going to affect you in a positive way? And do you know who suffers if you don't get there? Because who suffers, that last piece, that's what drives me. It's not the Bentley. It's not the $1 million home. It's not the lavish vacations. It's that who suffers. What happens if I don't? I can't spend time. I won't be retired. I'll have to work until I'm dead. I'll be in a nursing home. I'll be depressed. I'll have the life that my dad had. I don't want that, dude. I want to know what happened. And some of you are afraid to write that down because you don't want to even take the time to know. I don't want to think about it. But you have to. See, motivational speakers, what I told you is going to be different today. Let's have faith. Go out there. Okay, high five. Let's go. Yeah, rah, rah. Those are the ones that I hate. Great, message is okay. To me, it's bullshit. Give them something tangible they can learn from. Don't just go in there and say, hey, Chris, I did great, but man, the next year, trying to pitch Chris, bring me back. That's going to be way better, bro. I left a little bit of stuff out just so you can bring me back. No, leave it all on the table. You have one life. Leave everything on the table, guys, okay? So here's the thing. Ask you this question, and we're going to play a little game. Who in this room right now, please pay attention to this. Who in this room right now, by raise of hands, would absolutely die for the people that you love most if they never had to worry about money, they never had to worry, they're always happy every single day of their lives, all the worries, all the anxiety, you would die to give them the life that you guys want to have. Who would die? Raise your hand. Just give your kids everything. Give your family everything. Who would die for that right now? Okay, maybe 90% of the room. Question for you. Then why aren't you leaving for them? Here's the thing, like, dying for them is the easy way out. You die to give them the best life. You die to give them everything you didn't have. You would die to give them the money so they never have a worry. They never have pain that you guys went through. You die for them to do that. But that's the easy way out. Fine, fun, boom, kill myself when I was in my car. Boom, boom, they got everything now, done. Easy, it's easy. Winning is hard. Changing your life is hard. Life is hard. Nothing is given to you. And until I realized that there was no handouts, there wasn't people that were going to do it for me, then guess what? I thought to myself, why aren't I living for them, dude? Like, if it's so easy for me just to pull the trigger and die tomorrow just so I could have everything, do you think your kids want you dead?
No.
Your family, the people you love most? No, they want you to enjoy that life with them. So isn't the value, the why of why you should live for them so much more important than I would die for them? Guys, guess what? Every person, every event, I died to give my family everything. I died and yeah, it's the nice answer, but it's the easy way out. Everybody do me a favor, stand on up, we're gonna play a game real quick. Stand on up. This is called the excuse game, yeah! How many people love excuses? By a round of applause? Nobody loved that, that's great. Like, whoa, don't clap your hands. I said how many people love excuses. Don't do that, that's crazy. Okay, we're gonna play a game. Now, listen, remember, you promised me brutal. He's killing us right now. That's horrible, okay, that's great. Okay, all right, lost a few people there. Next one. Politics are affecting us, man. The president, all the politics, man, it's killing us right now, dude. The new president, Donald Trump's hair, what's that?
Excuse for what?
Just excuse for why you're not having the life you want or succeeding at your job, all that stuff, okay? Politics kill you. Yep, we lose 5, 6 people there. It's Trump, it's Biden, it's the politics, they're losing there, it's horrible. Okay, all right, next one. The leads suck or I don't have enough of them. Leads are horrible, man. That person, they're a stud. The leads are horrible. The leads suck. I don't have enough leads, man. Like, I don't know how you expect me to do my job, Chris, because I don't have enough leads. Look, there's people looking at people who should be sitting down. Nobody says the leads suck, you liars. Nobody says the leads suck. I'm gonna let you guys slide with that one. You're lying. Okay, here we go. All right. There's not enough candidates. I don't have enough candidates. The pool isn't big enough. Pool isn't big enough, don't have enough candidates. Oh, whoa, look at that one. I got you on that one. Damn. Love that. Thank you for being honest. I love it. Not enough candidates, pool isn't big enough. How do you expect us to make money? Okay, we don't have the bodies or the candidates. Okay, next. All right. I'm too busy. I don't have time. I'm too busy, man. I got way too much to do. I got no time at all. It's too busy. Too busy. I got no time. Oh, Chris, sit your hand down. Okay, we ain't done yet. Don't worry, do one more. Okay, I remember I asked brutal honesty. Two beautiful ladies standing up. I love this. Okay, next one. No one told me that. No one trained me on that. I know, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that. No one trained me that. No, ladies? All right, cool. They weren't qualified. They weren't qualified for the job. That's why I couldn't place them. Anybody? No? Okay, do me a favor. Give these two ladies a huge round of applause. You can take a seat. Okay, 2 people out of 60. Here's the truth. We've all used these excuses at one point in our life. Maybe these amazing individuals still don't, and I love that if they don't use them now, and I think it's fantastic. The truth is 99% of the world uses some of these excuses. I could have literally taken another hour and put excuses up with every person, including me, would have sat down. But the truth is, I don't have time, I'm too busy. That's a great excuse. You know what I tell people? Don't tell me you don't have the time. Just tell me it's not important enough to care. At least that way you'll be real. C-suite team, if you guys had a meeting that was going to cost you $30 million in revenue in the company, and you'd lose it tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., but one of your children got hurt, and if you don't show up, you lose $30 million, but your child could die if you don't get there at the same time in the meeting, where are you going?
Kid.
Sir?
Kids.
Every time, right, Chris? Sir? Every time, right? Why? Because the value is so much bigger. The $30 million doesn't mean anything. But see, we use these excuses all the time. Because if you say to yourself, I never say I don't have time anymore. I never say I'm too busy. I literally look the person in the eye and I say, listen, there's other things that are priority on my list right now. It's just not important enough for me to do it. I'm honest about it. Because see, we prioritize things that are in our life. And you guys might think, a little bit harsh, but the truth is it's real, right? We all love the excuse. I don't have time, I'm too busy. But you really just want to be honest with yourself. If someone comes to you, can you help me? And you say, I'm too busy, I don't have the time, I got too much stuff going on, I got a lot. Yes, we know, everybody's busy, dude, everybody. There's not a person in this room that's not busy. But if you just say to yourself, it's just not important enough to care, because if it was important enough, the value of their children passing over $30 million in revenue, $30 million doesn't mean anything. Because now they're gonna make time to let $30 million go, because the importance to be with their kids and save their lives completely outweighs $30 million, right? So it's very true. Don't say you don't have time, just say it's not important enough to care. So, okay, whoops, went too fast there. Okay, so the question to me that you guys need to ask yourself is what is going to keep you standing? With all of those excuses that we just gave each other, and we'll move quickly past this, is that like you have to know what keeps you standing in a room like this. Like every one of you that sat down, and I think for a lot of you who just sat down the first excuse, I love that. And if you sat down the first, second, third excuse, you might have said the other excuses too. If I were you guys, I'd be very real about that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do this for you guys. Everybody take a picture of this or something real quick, okay? If you literally use any of these excuses right now, it should be on your list to eliminate. Because if you don't eliminate these excuses, you're gonna cost yourself millions of dollars, time with your loved ones, and the family that you want. That's what it's gonna do. My first marriage was my high school sweetheart. I didn't put enough time in. I was running illegal card games. I don't blame her. Yes, there was 2 side stories, right? But the truth is I could have made different choices, right? So could she, but I chose excuses. So eliminate those excuses. Okay, go through this real quick. ProCom, okay? Talk about you guys. Okay, I put some stats up here. I did some research. I know you guys were 1978 is where you started. I know you're doing billions of dollars in revenue. I know you're one of the fastest growing IT companies. I know that you guys are one of Canada's best managed companies and growing tremendously in the United States. I know all these stats, okay? So by raise of hands, who's grateful to work for a company like this? Raise your hand if you are. Raise your hand. Okay, forget that. Who, clap very loud if you're grateful to work for ProCom right now. Clap really loud. See, the thing is that I had the luxury of sitting with some of your executives, and I've talked to Chris a few times prior to getting here. There are not a lot of companies, and trust me, I get paid to do this. I'm not saying this because I get paid to do this. Brandon and I do a lot of trainings, speak at a lot of events for our company. We do a lot of really cool stuff. But the truth is, we were talking about it last night after dinner. There are very few companies that have the culture that you do. The fun you guys were having at the table behind me. I told Chris, I don't know what they're doing over there, dude, but I want to be a part of that. Singing happy birthday. There's a guy with I think even one of your executives said, that guy does not work for us. So I think that was you, right? You're like, not that one, Todd. That one doesn't work for us. That's a friend of a friend, and we don't claim that one, But the truth is, it's like you have fun. And the thing is that if you're not passionate about what you do, you're not working with a company that you have actual gratitude for, gratitude drives you. And I'm going to give you an example. I pay $50,000 a year for a life coach. 50 grand. People go, 50 grand? Todd, don't you do consulting for a living? Aren't you living a great life, making all this money? Yeah. You want to know why consulting companies exist? I was telling Chris this last night. Chris and your entire executive could come into our company and see things that we can't because we're so focused on what we do every day. They could help us, right? Just like we help consulting companies. Well, guess what? Gratitude's the same way. I pay my amazing, her name is Zanelle Delgado. I chose a woman for a reason. I wanted to be held accountable by a woman, a powerful woman that can make moves. I think it's very important for us as men to just admit that, unfortunately, women are better at sales than us, by the way, guys. Statistically proven, I'm just saying. So, let me be clear. You're not better than me, but you're better than them. Okay, so, all right. But here's the deal, right? If you don't be grateful and you wake up and write, like my 10 gratitudes I write down every day. I remember one day I had a horrible day. I lost someone I loved, right? And she has this book, and you write down 10 gratitudes every single day, and then you write down 3 goals for the day, right? It's like what you want to do. And it's not like I want to make $1 million. It's like I'm going to work out for 45 minutes. I'm going to take a walk like Chris did this morning. I'm going to do like attainable goals because you have to feel accomplished, right? And so it's really funny because one day I went through a very hard time. And I thought to myself, she's going to give me some slack because I lost someone I love very much. I was depressed. And I remember talking to her. She said, Todd, I'm really, really sorry about your loss. We talked for like an hour. She said, did you write down your gratitudes? I'm thinking to myself, what? First of all, I pay you because you're supposed to be my mentor and life coach. I just lost someone that I love, and it's destroyed me. I'm in tears on the phone. And your question is, did I write down my 10 gratitudes today? What are you talking about? And she stopped me. She's very, very well-to-do. Todd, I don't work with you because of the $50,000. I work with you because I believe in your potential and who you can become and how you're going to impact lives. You don't have to pay me. It's not about the money. If you don't write down 100 gratitudes today, then we're done today. She proceeded to tell me that people go through very difficult things in life. And that if you let those difficult things affect you and keep you off track, then you're just going to do it like a downward spiral. The woe is me story. I didn't get this. It's not my fault. All this overhead. They didn't teach me this. All the bullshit excuses that we just had fun playing a game with. Raise your hand if you think you could write 100 gratitudes today, and what would they be? Start listing them. Nobody? No shit. It was hard. I was like, thank you for the black socks I wore yesterday. Thank you for the shirt on my back. Thank you for my watch. Thank you. Thank you for my bracelet. Thank you for my kids. Thank you for my wife's hair. She's got great hair. Because I literally couldn't think of 100 things. So, she said, I want you to do it on the front of one piece of paper. You cannot flip it over, and you're going to write as small as you can. I still have that to this day. Because it reminded me that no matter how hard life gets, if you're not grateful for what you have, most people forget about that. See, what happens in life is that one negative thing happens to you, and then you forget about all the good shit. It's so crazy to me, dude, and it was my life for so long. It's like, this person died, and I'm gonna spiral. Or I lost my job. Who cares? Get another one. Listen, ProCom isn't the only place you can work. You might not ask me to come back after I say this, but it's not the only place you can work. You can go out and get a job anywhere you want. It's not always the money. There are people that will go someplace because the comp plan's better, and they'll come back to a company like ProCom because the culture's better. They didn't do everything they promised, but you have to promise to yourself that you wake up and be grateful, because if we miss those things, then you forget about them. I have beautiful children. And I'll share a very, very, very important story at the end of this with you guys that just recently happened that changed my life. But make sure you write down your gratitudes, okay? All right, 2 things that will end any chance of the next level of growth. That's ego and pride, okay? What did I say when I got here? I talked about leadership and the leaders' titles and all this shit. Here's the thing. When I asked you guys to stand up, I said, do you love motivational speakers? You're like, I do. And then there was other people like, not me. And they raised their hand like, this was horse shit, whatever. Okay. All right, so here's the thing. That's ego and pride. Are there bad motivational speakers? Yes. Are there bad bosses? Yes. Are there bad employees? Yes. Are there bad contractors? Yes. There are bad ones. But see, here's the thing. I learned a long time ago that if I let my title and my ego get in the way of my growth, shame on me. I have learned more stuff from new people that have come into our company that I didn't know from 18-year-old kids, but some of us won't do that. We won't even listen to them. The CEO, new kid, 18 years old? No. CMO? No. CRO? COO? No. 18, what do they know? They're 18 years old. Well, what if they had one idea that just changed everything? What if, right? We talked about what if. I listened to everybody, and my life started changing when I removed pride and ego, because we all think we don't have one. Look, there's good ego and bad ego. Good ego is, I know I am really good at what I'm going to do, and I know that I'm going to go out there every single day and kick ass. I know I'm going to be number one, just like you ladies. You're number one salespeople other than me. But, it's like that's good ego. I know I'm good. Bad ego is, I know I'm better than you because I'm a man. I know I'm better than you because I just beat everybody and I don't listen. I know everything. It's bad ego, right? But then pride gets in the way. Pride is like, well, I'm 50 years old and an 18-year-old kid has an idea and I don't listen. That's pride. You're being prideful because they could have an idea. So ego and pride will kill you guys, okay? Move on to this real quick. If you're in this business right now, take a picture of this or read a couple off, but I did some kind of what my thoughts on your KPIs would be. Here's the thing, guys. If you don't know your numbers, you're not being held accountable. I want to be clear on this, okay? Just to name a few, okay? Candidate submission to interview rate. Is it 3-to-1? Is it 4-to-1? Whatever. Time to hire. What's your average days from requisition to placement, okay? How many dials are you doing per day? How many emails are you sending? How many text messages are you sending? Raise your hand if you go on LinkedIn every single day and you know the exact number, and I want to see it written down someplace. I don't want you to tell me a number. I want to see where it's written down. You know exactly how many people you reach out on LinkedIn that are looking for jobs. Raise your hand if you do that. How many people actually go on social media because you've seen something, you're following someone that may be able to inspire you or help you? How many people, do you know that? Do you know how many candidates you reach out, how many emails you send every day, text me? Do you know all this shit? Because the truth is, that's sales. It doesn't matter if you're in placement, it doesn't matter what you're in. You have to know your KPIs. All this stuff, please take a picture of if you haven't, or write it down. You can't write this down, take it 2 years. But how many conversations are you having daily? How many people are you actually talking to? Do you know that? How many people are you talking to now that the company didn't provide you for leads? How many people have placed someone where they haven't gone to the website to see how many other positions they have so you guys can place someone else? You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to be in recruiting to know this stuff. But if you don't know your KPIs, you're not holding yourself accountable at all. These numbers will change you. Listen, if your close ratio on closing a candidate and an offer, giving them an offer, okay, and they accept the offer, let's just say your acceptance rate, okay, by how you work with one of your clients is 40%, and you change none of these KPIs and you just get better at closing someone on the position by 10%, does your income go up? Every time. What if your closing ratio and your place rate stayed the same and you just doubled the amount of emails and text messages and all that stuff you sent? And it gave you more people to contact, which gave you more people to have conversations with. Would you make more money, yes or no? Of course you would. Yes, you would. Here's why. Because more emails, more text messages, more contacts, more reach is going to give you the ability to talk to what? More people. More conversations equals more money, period. Write that down, because some of you said no, write it down. More conversations equals more money. Might be cliche, write it down. NPS score. How many people know what an NPS score is? Raise your hand. NPS score. Okay, cool. Few people, all of you should know it. It's a net promoter score. It's customer satisfaction. How do your people view you, okay? So let's get into this. Let's try one for leaders in the room, okay? Are you meeting with your entire team every day? What's your cadence? If you're on Zoom in person, how often do you meet with your team? Are they basically telling you, hey Todd, I know you're our leader, meeting every day, 8 a.m., it's a little much. Let's do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you go, that sounds good, just because you get a couple days off. Here's the truth. Your cadence should be daily. You should be meeting with your team. Are you prepared for your meetings? Are you just winging it? Hey Chris, how did yesterday go? You do good? Awesome, man. Do a good job, man. I know you can get a placement maybe tomorrow. Cool. You guys have a great day. Hoorah! Bullshit. Get prepared for those meetings every day. Talk about it. Like, we would always get the sales teams together and the admin team together, and we would literally say to them, if you performed good, let's reward them. But here's the thing. In your line of business, what if I didn't get a placement, but I made 500 phone calls when the average phone calls a day is 50? Should I get recognized for that? Yes, because that's effort, and companies don't do that. They recognize performance and sales and money, but they forget to recognize effort. Effort will eventually equal money, and you leaders, you miss it. I'm just being real. You don't pour into your people because that effort's important, okay? Are you prepared? How often do you meet with people on your teams one-on-one? Here's the thing. We got a thing called the Perfect One-on-One. Brad and I create it. We give it to every single organization. We do it once a month. You can do the cadence anytime you want. It's sitting with each of your team members one-on-one. It's doing their performance. On the Perfect One-on-One, it shows what income do you need to make to survive. What's that income? I need to make X amount of dollars to survive. The next one is, what's the income that I would like to get to? What is that number? Because see, if you know how much money someone needs to survive to pay their bills, and they know what their goal is, the Perfect One-on-One gives you the ability to say, okay, I know Todd needs to make $100,000 a year just to pay his bills, but in order to get the life he wants, this is his dream, he needs to get to 200. As a leader, if you don't know that, shame on you. You don't know where they want to go yet. You don't know that, right? Next, do you know your numbers and your team's numbers? Here's the thing, we went over those KPIs. Whatever your KPIs are in the organizations, I take a hard look at those, right? And if I have something up there that's not on there that you think should be, add it. If I have something up there that shouldn't be, that's fine, take it away. But if you as salespeople and reps and administrative tasks with duties and all, if you don't know these things, you're already losing. You're not holding yourself accountable, which means you're not going to win. And leaders, shame on you. If there's a leader in this room that has a team and you don't know your team members' specific numbers like this, you could call them out. Todd said 3 placements, his 30% this, his KPI is this, his requisition to placement ratio is 3-to-1. If you don't know these numbers, you're not, so let me ask the question. How can you expect to hold themselves accountable if you can't hold yourself accountable? But see, once you get the title, you're like, oh, got the title. Somebody get me a footstool so I can put my feet up. That's the problem with leadership, dude. Leadership isn't easier, it's harder. Everybody thinks when you move up, it gets easier. It doesn't. It gets harder if you're the right leader, okay? So, and finally, the most important I talk about. How often as a leader do you ask your teammates, team members, new hires, how was onboarding for you? What did we miss? We're always looking for ways to get better. So if you could help me, just let us know, what do you think we need to work on? See, here's the thing. Raise your hand if you've been here less than 2 months again, some of you guys, right? Okay, so like if you come into an organization, the onboarding sucked, the training was horrible, etc. But you're a badass. So you're in this room for a reason. And you took it upon yourself, which is great accountability, to really be a great person. But the onboarding sucked, and nobody ever asked your opinion. Do you think onboarding is ever going to get better?
No, you need to be better.
So see, leaders, C-suite teams, executive, you don't ask that enough. You don't. What can we do to get better from the new hire to the person that's been here 30 years? What can we do to get better? And see, leaders miss that. We do this every single month. As a matter of fact, we created an anonymous box. You don't have to put your name on it. Todd is an asshole. No name. I won't know who said it, right? That we want to know that. But see, leaders don't want to because they don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to know that. They don't want to know what I'm doing wrong. They don't know how I'm talking to people. I talk down to people. Well, I don't talk down to people. Maybe you don't know your tonality. You're not listening to your mouth. We are. But you don't know that. So you should be asking your team that. Okay, do you teach your team and know know the people that they're placing? Here's the thing. Who can name someone that they placed recently? Raise your hand. What was the name? You just said you knew. Next. All right, who's next? Who's it?
Chris.
Chris, what?
Placed him, I placed another guy.
What's his last name? Chris what?
Nick.
No, what's Chris's last name? Okay, stop. Here's the deal. This is normal, okay? And this isn't calling you out on anything. This is normal, okay? Let me explain something to you about your why. Is your why important? Yes or no on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay, here's the thing. Do you think their why is important?
Yes.
Well, we don't even know their name, and we placed him. How many kids does he have? Well, stop. What did you just do? Just like that, gentlemen, that means you're thinking. A lot of times, if you look right, FBI negotiators will tell you that means you're thinking of something to say to protect yourself, which is usually a lie because you don't know the answer. It's buying time. This right here, that's buying time. That means you don't know the answer. But here's the truth. How many kids do they have? What are their names? What is their why? How many of you think that if you were being placed, you would work with ProCom if I actually said, ma'am, how many kids do you have? Do you have kids? Okay, what's important to you in life? What's important to you? Is it family? Is it time? Is it vacations? What's important to you, ma'am?
My family.
My family. What else?
I wrote here
Please tell me what you were done.
Security.
Security, right? That's fantastic. What type of security, ma'am? Is it like for your home? Is it just financially in general?
Yeah.
And if you are financially secure, what are you going to do with the money? Because we know you're going to succeed here, but what would you do with it? How would it change your life?
I'd have the freedom to just do what I want.
So freedom's important to you.
Yeah.
So at one point, I'm guessing you don't want to work anymore. You'd like to retire and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Is that fair to say, ma'am?
No. I would like, even if I do get to have some financial stability, I would like to continue to work.
Which is awesome. So it's important to you just to stay active.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, let me ask you something. If ProCom really took the time just to get to know you and your family, and we placed you with a company that cared about you as much as we care about you, I'm sure that the people you work with are very important to you, right? Like you don't want to work for like a bad leader, right? So we're going to go over kind of a list of questions just so I can get to know you a little bit better, because I don't ever like placing anyone unless I actually know who they are and what drives them, what their goals are. And a lot of staffing companies don't do that. They just want to look at your resume. Let me ask you a question. Does your resume tell me who you are?
Work-wise? Somewhat.
Let's stop here.
Person, not really.
Not you, not as a used person. See, your resume is a piece of paper. I don't know if you guys know this now. There's a statistic that says, this is truth. Harvard Business did a study on this last year. Over 10,000 resumes. 91% of all resumes had something not real and fake in it.
It's far more than that.
This is insanity. But you're in the placement business. Let me ask you something. When they ask, you guys ask for their resume, or however you get it. Car repossessed, bankruptcy, I've had 18 jobs. How quickly would you place that person?
Never.
That was me. Would you help me find a job now? Oh.
I think your rate would be too high.
Hopefully now, sir, yes. 20 years ago, absolutely not. I would have been immediately working as quickly as I could. My point is that you don't take the time to get to know people and their why. And I think leaders and places, especially in this line of business, staffing, if you care about someone and actually prove that you care, you know the kids' names, you know where they're from, you know their history, you know their why, because their why is just as important as yours, but you don't take the time to ask them. And you know it, because you don't even know their names. I could ask each of you in the room right now, if you had 10 placements, I don't know if that's a lot, little, whatever, in the last 6 months, right? What are each of their first and last names? What do their families do? What are their wives' names? What are their kids' names? What do they love to do? Are they in dance competitions? The kids love to play soccer. Why did they need this job? Was it just to get another job? They want to buy a house? Do they want to save? Do they want to invest? Do they want to travel? You wouldn't know that, and you know what I'm saying is true. But the problem is accountability is from leaders. You need a placement in order to pay your bills and keep your job. That's not accountability. For instance, if I was a worker in this room and I was being held accountable, there's a way different thing between responsibility and accountability, which you're going to talk to. Finally, do you teach your team to know the people they're placing, and do you really know the people you work with? Here's the thing. We just did the exercise of the placement person, okay? Who's a leader in this room that has a team? Raise your hand. Is one of your team members in this room, sir?
Yeah.
Which one?
Christian.
Christian. Okay, that was the first one you went to. Is there another one?
Nick.
Nick, where's Nick? Cool. How many kids does Nick have?
He's got 2.
2? What are their names? Okay. I hear you thinking. Okay. And what do they love to do for sports and activities?
Baseball. His son plays baseball quite a bit.
The other one?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Okay. Why does Nick love working at ProCom?
I think he likes the flexibility.
Think or no?
No, I think he likes. I know he likes flexibility.
Okay. What's the money going to do for Nick when he starts succeeding? What does he want to do with it? The money.
Nick, can you tell me that?
Okay, stop. Here's the thing. Hang on. This is. We can have fun with this stuff, but this is very real. Okay. This is very, very real. So you don't know what your why is. You don't know what your worth is. These are hard questions to ask. You don't know the family and the why of the people that you're placing. Now you don't know the why of your team members. And I guarantee you, sir, that if I ask an executive or maybe a leader of one of yours these very specific questions, they may not know that of you. And the truth is, when you don't know this stuff, you don't know what drives them. You don't. But yet you try to hold people accountable due to your standards in business because you need to make money. But you want to know what gets people to work? That you actually give a shit about who they are. Let's keep it moving. Final question, leaders. How the hell can you expect your team to hold themselves accountable when you don't hold yourself accountable? Harsh, maybe, blah, 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 blah. Let's move on. Okay, here's the thing, because we're almost to the end, guys. Here's the thing. Path to ultimate accountability, okay? We know that the resume doesn't tell you who you are now, right? So if someone gives you a resume, Brandon knows this, we do this all the time. We fold up the resume, we put it aside, tell me everything on the resume, and then tell me everything that's not on the resume. And if I were to call one of your previous employers, what would they tell me the one thing that you need to work on most that's on this resume? That's how we start every single interview. May not be how you do it, it's how we do it. I want to know. I want them to know. I'm going to call your previous people that you work with, and I want to know what they're going to say about you. So what's one thing that you feel like you need to work on that they would tell me that was an area of opportunity for you at your previous employment? I want to know those things right away. I also want to know how many kids they have. I want to know why they're doing stuff. And then I'll reopen the resume and we'll talk about their work experience. I want to know who I'm hiring before I care about the experience of who I'm hiring. That's me. Doesn't have to be you. But what drives responsibility, guys, is responsibility is in a job description, right? You guys posted jobs. Does it have job roles and responsibilities on it? Yes or no? Yes. Help me here, guys. Yes or no? Cool, right? Got responsibilities, right? Next one, accountability. You can hire someone for that. You're Nick's leader. I guarantee you probably hold Nick accountable, right? Yeah, okay. Well, here's the deal. Holds Nick accountable. To what extent? I don't know. It's your business. But you can hire someone to semi-hold them accountable. Here's what really drives them. Their why, okay? You got to know what drives your team and the people your place just went over, because all in all, that's complete ownership. See, responsibility is different than accountability. For instance, again, if I was a worker in this building right now, pay close attention, and I am to set the event up, I'm going to put the tables together, I'm to set the chairs up, I am to vacuum the floor, and then all of a sudden, when the event's done, I am to take the tables down, I'm to restack the chairs up, and I am to re-vacuum the floor. That is my job as an event staff. And one day, I come in, and as long as I put the tables up, put the chairs up, vacuum the floor, put the chairs back, put the tables back, vacuum the floor, then I get a gold star. I've done my job. I've done my responsibilities. Yes or no? I've done my job. Check this out. Very next day, I come in, another event, put the chairs up, put the tables up, plug the vacuum sweeper in, and the fuse blows. I can't vacuum the floor. Leader comes up to me and said, hey Todd, the vacuum, the floor wasn't vacuumed. Ben said the floor wasn't vacuumed. It's not my job to replace the fuses, bro. I'm not maintenance. My job is to just, do what I can to vacuum the floor, keep the event staff going. See, his responsibility is to do that stuff. It's not his responsibility to replace the fuse. Would we all agree? Not an electrician, it's not his job. But see, accountability is if I was that person and the fuse blew, I'd make a phone call to maintenance staff. Hey, I need this fuse fixed immediately, because I have to vacuum the floor in order to get the event prepared for ProCom because they're coming in. If they can't get it, okay, get me to someone that can. Because my job, my responsibility is to vacuum the floor. And I'm held accountable for that. And most importantly, I'm going to hold myself accountable because I have a high standard of who I am in order to make sure that this gets done. So who do I need to talk to in order to get this done? That's accountability. But see, because you guys are remote and you're doing $1 billion in sales, you take that shit for granted, dude. Like remote, it's hard. Please, I know. You first work at a remote job. This is awesome. Comfort of my own home, chilling, my desk, everything's great. Don't have to answer to anybody. If I do, it's over Zoom. Can keep my camera off, all that fun stuff. They don't have to see me. I'm good. And all of a sudden, 6 months down the road, camera's off. You're waking up 2 hours later. You kind of figured out what you can get away with and what you can't. And then Love Island comes on. And you're like, I'm going to take an hour to watch an episode of Love Island on Netflix. I'm gonna chill right now and I'll just get back to work because I can do it on my own time. And then you lose lack. That's lack of accountability. See, the leaders in this room and all of you that are working remote, they can't hold you accountable to things they can't see. But someone said earlier, and I think it was Nick, where that said, I have to look at myself in the mirror, right, Nick? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here's the deal. When I wake up every day, I want to look at myself in the mirror and say, regardless whether any of the C-suite have, leaders call me, they know. They don't have to ask, they know. Like I am a maniac at response time. Someone texts me, it's instantly back. I get an email, it's instantly back. There's something in the system, it's instantly back. Brandon is very focused on one thing. Neither one of us are wrong or right. We're just two different people. Brandon says, they can wait. My job is to complete this right now, and I'm going to do that to my best of my ability, and then I'll get back to them. Me, I believe, and I'm not, but I believe I am the best multitasker in the world. So people look at me and they're like, dude, you respond faster than any human being I've ever met in my entire life. Chris, when you email me, I reply pretty quickly? Yes. Yeah, okay, so here's the deal. Like, I'm sitting at my computer. If it ding comes in, okay, just reply to Chris, boom. But some people are like, oh, Chris, I'll get to it later. That's not accountability to me. accountability to me personally is like be the person that people know is going to get the shit done. I want to be the go-to person. He's going to figure it out. And some of you, you're lacking on that, right? Okay, so final exercise. Everyone up one more time. We'll get out of here. Probably done listening to me talk. I'm sorry, but I'm enjoying this. Hopefully you guys are too. Okay, find someone near you real quick. You cannot be on your own. Tell them 2 things you need to know you need to work on, and I want you to write them down. And then switch it up, and the other person tells them 2 things they need to work on and write them down. Take 2 minutes. Let's do it now. Chan. Okay, stop real quick, real quick, guys. If you are C-level executive in this room, admin staff, back office, okay? I want the C-level executive room to now tell the admin staff 2 things they need to work on. And then admin staff, you call them out if they don't work on it. We go with that? C-suite team, get with the admin staff right now, go tell them. C-suite team, let's go, please. You guys said titles don't matter. Please, let's do this. Get with someone, admin staff, 2 things you need to work on. Get with an admin staff, 2 things you need to work on. Admin staff, you do not have to tell them 2 things. This is just the C-suite team. Give you about 30 seconds and then we'll take a seat so we can get out of here. 30 seconds. Seconds, and then everybody can sit down. 10 seconds. All right, everybody take a seat. Thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause. Everybody, let's go. I love this. People are still going. They're like, I'm sorry I did this. I shouldn't have done that. I promise I'll do better. I'll do better. I promise. Todd's forcing me to do this. I got it. Okay, here's the deal, guys. Admin staff, real quick. Share with me 1 thing that your C-suite team shared with you that they need to get better on. Ma'am, I'll start with you. What about Chris?
Wants to learn how to have patience as well as know his team's why.
Amen. Ma'am?
Graham wants to respond more quickly to emails and learn more about his team and know their whys.
Love that. Look at Chris. It's easy to call, right? It's like I need to work on this, but Chris is way worse. He needs to do it more, right? That's it. I got it. Okay, ma'am.
Ken wants to work on meeting with us individually.
Amen. Love that. Who else? Who else met with a C-suite executive? Ma'am? No? Anybody here? Anybody over here? You with any other C-suite team? Okay, now at your table, who wants to share 1 thing you need to work on over here, sir? 1 thing you need to work on. Yes, sir.
You mentioned it. I need to get to know my team better.
Amen. On this table, 1 person share something with me, please.
That snooze button.
Snooze button. Amen. Thank you for the honesty. Back table, gentleman in the blue shirt, please.
Need to get back to writing the goals now.
Amen. Yes, sir. Be specific, right, about what they are. This table here, sir, if you don't mind.
Having my team specific number of the goals that they want to attain.
Amen. Yes, sir. This table, sir, if you don't mind.
Physical health.
Yeah.
Amen. Love that, sir.
Same thing.
Same. Like, it's huge. Just telling Chris, I just lost 27 pounds recently. I feel better than ever. It's changed my life. So thank you. Appreciate that. What's that?
Feel good mentally, physically, emotionally, you can't do better.
My belief is you have to be. Yeah. It's like, there's no, like, you can't sacrifice. Yeah, you can't sacrifice health, because even if you're mentally stable and you're lethargic, you can't win. If you don't mind, ma'am.
Asking for help.
Asking for help, ma'am.
Asking questions and staying curious.
Yes, ma'am. Sir?
Oh, like you said earlier, living with the mindset of living for others and not being one to die for them.
Amen. Love that. Sir?
Being able to work on my anxiety and like be comfortable from my peers and my coworkers. So,
Amen. Yeah. I'll tell you, when I first got on stage many years ago, I was like shaking when I got on stage. And what I learned from a lot of powerful speakers is that, like, when you get up there, you're like, oh God, you don't like talking in front of people. It's crazy. And I was literally shaking. I'm not kidding you. And it took me several times to do it to get better at it, because my anxiety was so bad. But that usually means you care. So I just want you to know, anxiety, although it can like really make people think it's a bad thing, when you have anxiety about something, it means you care so much about it that you want to be really good at it. So look at it as a superpower, sir. Ma'am?
Stop making myself uncomfortable to make others comfortable.
Oof. Ooh, say that again louder if I can hear it. Hang on. We can give her a clap. Say it again louder, ma'am.
It was my 2024 with family, friends, stop making myself uncomfortable for others to be comfortable.
Round of applause. Let's go. Yes. I love that. And then, if you don't mind, sir, share another one for us.
Well, Christine works with me, so I'm thinking I have to take a spin on that. But,
yeah.
Giving people that I work with space, I get involved and probably do more on what they're doing than I should.
Amen. See, here's the thing about that from a C-suite level executive, right? Like, we as leaders at time, we want to pour into people so much, we want to force success on them, when sometimes you need to give them space to fail in order to learn what success is, right? It is what happens, right? And I don't know if you heard the words he just used. I listen to every word people say. He said, the people I work with, not that work for me. That is a very powerful statement, because a lot of companies, yeah, this guy works for me. I'm sorry?
That's a ProCom statement.
For sure. Love that. Well, that's fantastic then, because so many companies, if you guys know, you're at least like, yeah, that person works for me, works for me, works for me. That's good for you. They work for you, right? No, you work with one another. So here's the thing, guys. You got to take these things that you guys wrote down, you got to be real about them. So the question is, should you have an accountability partner? You pair it up with somebody. We told them to hold you accountable, right? If you mess up. We went from the admin staff to the C-suite team to some recruiters and everybody in between to hold them accountable. I want you to write down the person's name right now that's going to hold you accountable, and you have the freedom, and I'm going to guess based on the C-suite team's amazing engagement today that they'll give you the freedom to call them out. Ma'am, call Chris out. And I'll give you my email. If he doesn't do it, call me and I'll call Chris out, okay? Because I don't work with Chris, so you can't fire me. So it's great, okay? All right? Might not come back next year, but I'll call him out. All right, so here's the thing. Accountability, let's talk about how important accountability partner is, and then we'll get out of here. Anybody know who this person is? How about if I told you her name? No one? Huh. How about this person?
Rihanna.
Who is it? Rihanna. Oh, weird. You know Rihanna. Check this out, right? Melissa Ford was one of Rihanna's best friends. And when she was in her darkest place, she stood beside her and made her believe that she was going to be a global superstar. To this day, Melissa Ford still works with her, and she is one of the chief executive officers. She's got 3 different people in her C-suite team that she calls CEOs at Fenty Beauty. That is a $2.8 billion organization that run 3 different divisions, and Melissa Ford's one of them. And nobody knows who she is. So are accountability partners important? People to hold you accountable? Change this person, like, oh, but Todd, she's now a CEO. Yeah, but she wasn't then. Rihanna was nobody then. And she was still there, and Rihanna went to her to hold her accountable, and the story gets deeper. You can look it up if you want, but it's vice versa accountability. They helped each other, and now look at the success they're having. So having accountability partners, very good, but the problem is most of you won't have an accountability partner because you don't want to hear what you're slacking in. You don't want to hear that I talk down to people, my communication's bad, I don't respond to emails in time. You don't want to hear that stuff because accountability is hard. Let's try another one, okay? Who's this person? Yeah, it's a bad picture. Randy Smith, that help? Anybody in here? No one knows? Who's this guy? Scotty! Yeah, we know Scotty Scheffler. Okay, Randy Smith was Scotty Scheffler's swing coach since he was 7 years old. He still is today. He's the #1 golfer in the world. Scotty basically says that without Randy Smith, allowing him to keep his mind open, even because he's the #1 golfer in the world right now, that he can still learn every single day and never to let ego and pride get in his way, that today, even today, Randy Smith is still the main reasons for his success. Scotty's an awesome dude, and he talks about his administrative staff. He talks about the people that book his travel. He talks about, and he literally lives it. He's a very faith-driven human being, and he says, without these people, I would not have the success that I have today, and he lives it. He believes it. He's there. He keeps these people around, and he talks about Randy Smith holding him accountable. So our accountability partner is important, yes or no? Yes. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, I'll do one last one, and then we'll get out of here. Who's this guy? Still don't know? What about this guy? I'm wearing a pair of his very expensive shoes right now. You better know MJ, right? Michael Jordan. I'm sorry?
Travis Scott.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I wear $10 t-shirts, but I like shoes, sir. So, okay, all right. So, here's the deal. Michael Jordan has a direct correlation to Pop because he was the guy that cut him in 1978. Same year ProCom opened, right? Pretty cool. It's a cool thing. But here's the thing. He cut him in high school, and Michael Jordan gave him all the credit at the 2009 Hall of Fame induction because he said that you can't just be great. You have to do the things to be great. You can't just believe that you're amazing. You have to do those things to be great. And before Pop died, Michael gave him all the credit in the world. So without him, he wouldn't be Michael Jordan. From that time forward, he taught him what accountability and work ethic was, and that movement's better than speech. His exact words, excuse my French, said, don't talk shit, actually move. That's what he told them. Big thing. So how important is having an accountability partner? Great, great, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so do me a favor. Let's make a deal. This is the end of it now, guys. How we finish. Everyone, one last time as we close out, okay? Promise me that if you want a better life, you want more money, you want the promotion, you want to buy the house, you want to put your kids through college, better marriage, better leader, whatever, that you'll stop looking around and you'll start looking at yourself. I need that promise for you. So on the count of 3, I want you to say yes. And if you don't say yes and you don't say it loud, I promise you I'm not going to leave. So 1, 2, 3. Yes! Okay, that was good. Have some energy, okay? Finally, do me a favor. Everybody stand up real quick. We'll get out of here one last time, and then I'm going to close out, and you're done hearing my voice for at least a year, right, Chris? Come back next year. Love that. Closed them. All right, so here we go, all right? Here's the deal. This is very important to me, and I do this at the end of every event. I may not be your cup of tea, and I get that. That's okay. I'm not for everybody, and I know that. And guess what? I'm fine with that. I may be your cup of tea, and I'm hoping that you guys got something out of this today. I told Chris I was going to go a little longer because I want to take the time to pour in with you guys, and we are going to do Q&As now and all that stuff with you guys, and we're going to be here well after the event's over, okay? I want to spend time to get to know you guys and talk to you and practice everything that I preach because it matters to me, okay? But when I say, are you done playing small, I want you to scream hell yes as loud as you can. And here's the deal. I see you rolling your eyes over there, man.
Oh,
you were just kidding? Love that, okay. All right, here's the deal. I want you to scream it as loud as you can. And I know I'm 4'2", but I can see all of you, okay? I will make sure that I keep doing this, and then until Chris and them kick me out, until you scream as loud as you can. So when I say, are you done playing small, loud as hell, you scream hell yes. And I'm gonna say, are you sure? And then you're gonna scream hell yes. And then I want you to go like, whoa, yeah, let's go, baby, for at least 5 seconds. Uncomfortable, look stupid, I don't care what anybody says. If you were standing there, you go, hell yes. We're gonna be here all day. All day long. I want you to get uncomfortable. I want you to dance. I can't dance. I just look like an idiot in front of you. I'm going to do it again with you. So on the count of 3, I'm going to say, are we done playing small? Or I'll just yell, are we done playing small? And you're going to say, hell yes. I'm going to say, are you sure? You're going to say, hell yes. And then for at least 5 seconds, you are to go nuts. 5 seconds is longer. It isn't like, yeah, done. No, it's like, yeah, going crazy. 5 seconds, go nuts. Everybody with me? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. Are you done playing small? Hell yeah. Are you sure? Hell yeah. Let's go! Keep it up! Let's go! Yeah! Guys, Guys, my name's Todd Speciale. I'm going to leave this up here for you. If you don't mind, I got a couple books that are out. One of them is the Ultimate Sales Bible I just released a year ago. It's still #1 in sales and selling worldwide. Thank you very much. Pretty cool. I would get you to scan this QR code. It takes you to my website. Our companies Make Sales Great Again. We do sales training, leadership development. We do business deep dives. We do all that stuff. It's great. Please do me a favor. If you do anything, just promise yourself what you learned today. Even if you learned one thing, you're going to use it. Other than that, that's my time, guys. Thank you so much for your time. So that's it. Right here, Chris.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to take a 15-minute break. Todd's been hanging around for a while, so you can talk to him an hour later.
Hell yes!
Yeah, we'll recap, and then we're break for lunch around 11:30ish. And we'll have to be right for 10 minutes. So take a break, and we'll see you soon.